Shares of global automaker Stellantis are at an all-time high as the company's North America brand jumping into the EV game. This year, Ram, Jeep, and Dodge are set to roll out pure electric vehicles. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares is here joining us on set with our own Phil LeBeau. Phil, take it away, my friend.
Well, I know you guys have a lot of questions as well, especially when it comes to EVs, Chinese automakers, their expansion around the world. Let's start with the most obvious one, which is when you look at the market right now, not just the auto market, but the economy and the market here in the U.S., how comfortable are you?
I'm quite comfortable on the fact that people want to protect their freedom of mobility. They want safe, clean, and affordable mobility, and we are here to offer that and to serve. So I'm quite positive about the market. I think people will continue to protect their freedom of mobility, and for that, there is no other better device than an automobile.
Well, that's true, but is it going to be internal combustion engine? Is it going to be a hybrid? Is it going to be an EV? You know about the debate that's going on right now. EV market is slowing down in terms of the adoption rate here in the United States. Does that continue at least through the rest of this year and several years? What do you see?
What I see is that to make the EV spark, you need to align a certain number of stars. You need, of course, clean energy. You need a very dense charging network that people can see so that they remove range anxiety. They need a great product with a very high range, right? Like the products we are bringing to the market, 500 miles of range. That should be enough. And you need affordability. And what is at stake right now is affordability. That's the major star that is right now not totally aligned with the three other ones, assuming that they would be, which is
not that the supply chain? Is that the main issue? It's raw materials?
It's design to cost, is the fact that we need to be using raw materials for the battery cells which are not scarce, because as long as they are scarce, there is a lot of potential inflation and volatility. Design to cost, raw materials which are not scarce, and we have to double the power density of the battery cells so that you can have a smaller battery with less weight and therefore less cost.
He's shaking his head over there.
No, it's a lot. You got a lot to do. You got a lot to do. You got to make it much more. You know, I don't need any more anxiety. You mentioned a couple of kinds of anxiety there. I don't need that layered onto my existing anxiety. You got to understand why consumers feel this way.
Sure.
You have to.
Sure.
So you're going to get to 500 miles. When is that going to happen?
It's going to happen this year.
Okay, and then the density of not having to worry about being able to find a charge. When is it, at this point, I'd still have anxiety. I'm getting anxious talking to you.
Don't do that. That's not good for you, and it doesn't.
It's not good for anybody.
No, it doesn't help. I think that the car makers are now bringing a range that should remove that anxiety, in addition to the fact that you need, with your eyes, to see where the charging units are. The charging units need to come to your customer journey, to your daily journey, without you having to look for them. So when you go to gym, when you go to the supermarket, when you go to the mall, when you go to the restaurant,
we're a long ways from that happening.
You need to
here in the
see
United States.
So that's an infrastructure that needs to be set up.
And we really still are. I'm either going to buy an ICE car or a Tesla. That's still where we are right now. I don't want to buy an electric Jeep.
Yeah, I know this year, Stellantis is going to bring to the U.S. market only 8 new pure BEVs this year. And Stellantis in the world will have, by the end of this year, 48 BEV models, which is half of the total model portfolio of the company.
Let me ask you something, and I know Andrew's going to have an interest in this. Consolidation within the industry. You told me out there, it's coming at some point. When you look into the future, where is that? When does that happen?
It is going to be triggered by a very simple statement that everybody will understand. We have to find a way to sell BEVs at the price of ICEs. That's quite simple. To fix the affordability problem, we need to be finding a way to design to cost our products so that you sell BEVs at the price of ICEs. That is going to put extreme pressure on our companies, not only on the supply chain.
In other words, if you can't do it, you're not going to survive.
Somebody will. And the guys who are now ready to offer that in the world, not in the US, but in the world, are the Chinese. The Chinese are able.
So you think there's a merger to be done with the Chinese? Do you think that the U.S. government would ever allow that? The Europeans would ever allow?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the guys now, the Chinese, have a 30% competitive edge on X-Works on their BEVs. So they are able to sell their products with one segment gap, which means you sell a C-segment car at the price of a B-segment, which solves the problem of affordability. Now, what is going to be their stance.
And all these governments are putting tariffs on everything to prevent that.
Exactly, but that will generate inflation inside of the bubble.
Right.
If you do that, inflation inside of the bubble will make things worse rather than better. This country has seen the Japanese invasion in the 70s, then the Koreans. Are you going to see a third wave of Asians, which would be the Chinese? I don't know. I'm opening the question. But what I can tell you is that they are able to sell their BEVs at the price of ICEs. So we need to hurry up. We need to do our job, our homeworks, to make sure that we do the same thing. Of course, the governments can protect their companies with a golden share. That's absolutely obvious and absolutely fair. This being said, if we don't fix this for the consumer, recognizing that our mission is to deliver clean, safe, and affordable mobility, then we are vulnerable, and the Stellantis will not fall in that trap, I can tell you.
Carlos, we've only got about a minute left, but I wanted you to tell these guys what you told me outside. I said, look into the crystal ball, and what do you see in terms of consolidation? And you gave me a number of major automakers that you think we're eventually headed towards. Tell these guys what you see, looking down the road, and I don't know if you outside, was that 10 years you're looking down the road?
Yes, I think that given this pressure on affordability, 10 years down the road, possibly in the planet there will be around 5 big car makers in the world, around 5. Stellantis will be one of them. I can tell you I'm very confident about what our people are doing. By the way, congratulations to them. But around 5, that's the number.
Make it more complicated. How many brands? Because one of the things that's so fascinating.
No, but if you take but look at this. If you look at major automakers, how many would you say we have legitimately major around the world right now? 15, 20?
Yeah, 15 to 20.
You could argue too that's too many.
So he's saying it gets down to 5. You pick the 5 that are going to survive. He says it's going to be Stellantis. Does Toyota survive? What happens to Honda? Does Honda not survive? Somebody takes Honda over at some point? What happens between GM and Ford? What happens with Volkswagen? And BYD is in there.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I think it's an interesting prediction.
It's fascinating.
And there'll be 4 colors and all those. We already got that with the Teslas. They all look alike and there's 4 colors. I don't want to live in a world like that.
But if you pick one of the 15 brands of Stellantis, not only you have a lot of colors, but you have a lot of different flavors for different brands.
Listen, fella, you better not put Porsche out of business, all right? That better be one of the 5.
Why don't you buy a Maserati? Just for
I
change.
don't want one. I don't want one. Those aren't real anymore.
Oh, you should test drive them. That's an aggressive statement.
That's an aggressive statement.
You should test it.
And I like the Grand Cherokee, by the way.
That's a great car.
I like it.
I have 2 Stellantis.
You're a Wrangler guy, though.
My daughter is a...
Think about all the Jeeps you have, all the Rams you have. Very soon you'll have the new Chrysler coming in. Think about the Dodge, all the muscle cars we have to offer.
You will not have uniformity. You will have a lot of diversity.